Hi everyone. So hopefully you guys all did your mental math and you've moved on to your math message for lesson 6.4. So first we're going to start off by reading the math message. So it says the art club is making a rectangular mural for the gym wall. They have 98 square foot tiles. If the club members want the mural to be 7 feet long, how tall will that mural be? So let's go back and look at this and underline any important information. So we know that the shape of the mural has to be a rectangle, and that inside the rectangle, it is filled with 98 square foot tiles. That means each tile is a square foot and there's 98 of them. So that tells us right away that this is the area. 98 square feet. And a little good indicator is because it says square foot. Anything that's a square foot, they're usually talking about the area. If the club members want the mural to be 7 feet long, how tall will that mural be? So what we know is that the mural is a rectangle. It has an area of 98. So we know that it is a rectangle. It has an area of 98 squared feet. And we know that the length, this area right here, is 7 feet long, because that's what it tells us from the problem. So what we don't know is this, how tall it is. So that's what we need to solve for. And if you notice, I used a variable, a letter, to represent that unknown value. So what this problem is telling us is that if they were to do the tiles, there would be 7 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, I didn't really space them out that well. But there's going to be 7 tiles going across. And we need to know how many rows of tiles do we need to fill a 98 square foot space. So we need to know the height, how tall this is going to be. So I'm going to teach you a new way to do it. You could have solved this using any of the division strategies that you guys learned in the last lesson, which was using repeated subtraction. So I could have taken 98 and I could have subtracted 7 times, and I could have kept going all the way till we get a 0. So you could have done it that way. You could have drew a picture. So you could have actually made an array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until you did 98 X's to see how many arrays you would need to make. You also could have done it by finding multiples. So I'm going to teach you a different strategy, and it is dividing it into parts. So what we're going to do is we are going to get this pink color, and we're going to look at this shape. And as you can see, there's probably 10 rows here, right? Because 10 times 7 is 70, and 98 is bigger than 70. So we probably have at least 10 rows. So remember, this is 7. So if I have 10 rows that are 7 feet long, my area for this space is going to be 70. So that means this side has to be at least 10, right? Because 10 times 7 equals 70. Has to be at least 10. So we need to figure out what this space is down here. So if I think to myself, well, it's 98 square feet, and I know that this section has an area of 70, how much is left? So what you're going to get left with is 28. So this has to have an area, this section has to have an area of 28. 28. So what times 7 would give you 28? So going back to our multiplication facts, we should know pretty quickly that 4 times 7 gives us 28. So that means this part has to be 4 feet tall. And then you would just add, and you would get, you would get 14 feet tall, which is the answer to this math message.